Irene Bryant, a recently published author of the book, Finding Hope in the Midst of Adversity. Irene's dream is starting to materialize of becoming a highly sought after, highly paid international speaker and best-selling author, whom God uses to bring hope and healing to others. Sit back and enjoy lessons she learned during her 2-year journey with stage 4 throat cancer. Please help me welcome Irene Bryant, Finding Hope in the Midst of Adversity.
What would you do if the doctor said you only have a few months to live? What would you think? How would you respond? What would your attitude be? Would you believe them? Would you give up hope and go home and prepare to die? Or would you fight? Would you fight for your life? Would you would say, no way, I will not die but live and declare the works of the Lord. That was my favorite scripture that I said every day. I said, I will live as long as I have the very best I have. That night, the first night, as I went to sleep, I heard, no, do not do that treatment. Would you listen? We need to listen. When you're facing an adversity or a major decision, we have to listen to what the spirit inside is saying, what God is saying, what your body is saying. Listen, then trust and obey so you can receive the very best. I had to go back and tell them I wouldn't do their treatment. But before I could even say it, they said, you know, we looked at the prognosis. It's actually a lot worse than we thought. There's nothing we can do for you. I left that cancer clinic and I said, I will believe them. I believe you, God, and I will do whatever you want. You're either going to heal me or you're going to take me home. And either way, I win. I was filled with joy as I drove to my friend's place. Just been given a death sentence, and I was filled with joy. I didn't do the treatment. I did change my diet. I took supplements. I changed my attitude. I sought forgiveness. And I extended forgiveness to my husband and others who had hurt me, but especially against the emotional and mental abuse I had been experiencing. I sought forgiveness because it's very much a part of our healing. We can't hold on to bitterness and expect the other person to die. It doesn't work. It poisons us and eats away at us. We need to forgive. 15 months later, I was directed to go back to the cancer clinic. That made no sense. How could they help me now? They couldn't help me before. They wanted to cut out my tongue and voice box. And they didn't think they could get all the cancer. I said, what, are you crazy? No way. I'll be healed to go home. Thanks. What's next? Radical radiation. It might, with a 30% chance, slow it down. Those aren't good odds. But I had peace for the first time to do the radiation. Peace, another way of listening. When you have peace in making a major decision, where do you have your peace? That helps the direction. 35 treatments later, I was 98 pounds. This was one huge radiation burn. I was on 400 milligrams of morphine a day, and it didn't cut the pain. And I still had cancer. It's a tiny bit smaller. 6 weeks later, my pastor friend called and said, can you come for prayer Friday night? So I went. 300 women prayed for me at the conference. I left. I went back on Sunday and had more prayer and left. 2 blocks away. Everything inside of me said, go back. You're not complete. What if I hadn't listened? What if I'd had pride get in the way? I'd just been there. I went back. Pastor put her hand on my neck and said, Jesus is all she needs. A tremendous heat went through that whole area. I went to a cancer clinic 3 days later for my checkup. The doctors were shocked. They said, the most we hoped for was to slow it down. And it is gone. Gone. I rejoiced over that. And I was so glad. I had faith, I had hope, and you know what else I received? I received love. I was filled with God's love, and I know I am loved. And you know, as I look at all of you, I see love. I see that you are loved, and you are loving and kind. You have things that you give, and that's what you are. You are giving, and you are helping others. Your attitude is one of, yes, I can. Right, Alvin? It's about giving and helping and keep going. Right, Vera? Where's she going? So don't give up. You know, it says, this day I give you a choice of life or death. And death can be the death of a dream. Don't let it die. Choose life. I did.